Hello and welcome to another edition of National Focus. I'm your presenter Mervin. Thank you for joining us. Coming up, DSC students achieve excellent results at the June 2030 City and Guilds International Examinations. Eggleston Heritage Festival hosted last weekend, and the Ministry of Health issues dengue outbreak alert. Stay with us for details of these stories and others after the break.
Hey, I had a good time in town last week with a pretty girl, man.
Hey, carry me next time when you're going now.
Where we get paid Friday, we can go.
Careful, they might catch AIDS.
AIDS? Them girl pretty. Them girl can't get AIDS,
I
man.
think it's only ugly women have AIDS. Anybody could get it. If you get sick, what you can tell your wife?
Hey, your wife, come in.
Hey, change the topic. Change the topic.
Your family depends on you. Don't take home AIDS.
Scary! Everything just shaking and making big creaky noises.
Earthquakes, big and small, take place in the Caribbean at least 10 times a year.
The dishes rattling and falling and breaking. Then Vonnie started to scream.
All I could think to do was shout, "Get outside, get out!"
Earthquakes, hazards, take control, reduce your loss. If an earthquake hits, what can you do? Get down, get under an item of furniture like a table. Hold on and stay there until the quake passes. Find out lots more about earthquakes and other hazards at your local disaster office. A message from your National Disaster Office and SEDERA.
The facts as they are, brought to you every day. Only on GIS Channel 7.
Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. The Ministry of Health has issued an alert to the general public to guard against contracting dengue fever. Reports show an increase in dengue cases in the Caribbean region since the beginning of the rainy season. Symptoms of the dengue fever include intense headaches, high fever, vomiting, and severe joint and muscle pain. Persons experiencing these symptoms are advised to seek immediate medical attention. The public is urged to prevent the breeding of the vector, the Aedes aegypti mosquito, by removing stagnant water from your premises. Measures also include covering all containers capable of holding water and protecting one's self from being bitten by using mosquito repellent and nets. According to a release from the Health Promotion Resource Center, there are currently 7 confirmed cases and 18 suspected cases. The Ministry of Health says it has stepped up its activities to control the outbreak of dengue fever. In more news, Honorable Ian Douglas has announced that government remains focused on its plans to construct a marina in the second town. Honorable Douglas, who is parliamentary representative for the Portsmouth constituency and the island's tourism minister, told GIS News last week that although much is not being said at this time, the vision has not been forgotten.
There are a lot of preliminary work that has to go on. You have to, first of all, find the funding for a project of that type. When you do that, you also have to work on designs, and you have to work on a lot of geological issues like soil types, the depth, all those things come into play before you actually see work being done on the ground. I mean, it was the same situation with the Moroccan hotel.
According to the tourism minister, despite economic challenges, there remains a market for yachting.
The vision for a marina have always been in the plans for the development of Portsmouth and of the Cabrits. We feel that we have the best geographical amenities, natural amenities for the establishment of a marina, and that is something that government continues to work on. The Prime Minister has been in discussions with a number of friendly governments, including the government of the Kingdom of Morocco, and those discussions will continue because we believe that a marina will not only add to the amenities of the hotel, but also will place Dominica really strategically among the islands of the Caribbean to be able to take advantage of the growing yachting sector. I mean, I've been in discussions with a number of persons in the yachting industry, especially the luxury segment of the market, which is the high-end part of yachting. And they say if you, for example, want to buy a multi-million-dollar yacht today, the waiting list is a 3-year waiting list. That's the amount of of luxury yachts coming onto the market, even amidst a global recession.
This Caribbean market, the tourism official says, could well be complemented by Dominica's own unique contribution.
A marina would certainly help Dominica to be able to take its rightful place among the Caribbean countries who attract that kind of business. The Caribbean is very famous for that kind of business in the yachting industry, and we certainly look forward to the day when we ourselves can establish our marina, and we feel that the best place for it is right here at the Cabrits, either an outward marina, meaning on the sea, putting in slips, or maybe a more expensive but probably a better constructed marina in the inside, where you could have the boats actually in safety inland, where you could probably excavate and have the water come in from both sides, both the Western Caribbean side and also at the back of the Cabrits. So that is in the vision for the development of the entire area, and we continue to work on it.
Although the funding for this project has yet to be identified at this point, government is hoping for an arrangement which will not be taxing on residents.
The major underlying question here is to find the funding for it, and to find a friendly government like we did in the case of the Moroccan hotel, where we are receiving a gift, so it doesn't cost the taxpayers of Dominica anything, but at the end of the day we have the amenity to create jobs and to generate revenue in the economy, and that is how we want to approach the marina. A friendly government would come in and partner with us and do it, so that at the end of the day it doesn't cost the taxpayers of Dominica anything.
The Ministry of Culture has seen the need for an official national dish for Dominica. Chief Cultural Officer Raymond Lawrence says the island up to this point does not have an official dish.
Years ago, Dominicans embraced the crapo as our national dish, or the mountain chicken. But it was never the official national dish of Dominica, in the sense that never officially sanctioned by cabinet as the other national emblems were, like the flag, like your national anthem, your national flower, national bird. So we feel that it's time that we get an official national dish for Dominica, something that's sanctioned by the government of Dominica. So that's why we set out to try to find out, first of all, which dish or dishes that Dominicans really would like to see as maybe the national dish of Dominica. Another reason why we set out to do that was because we had sort of embraced crapo as a national dish, and crapo, as we know, has run into some problems, with a type of infection. So these are some of the reasons why we thought it's time maybe to try to decide which one is the official national dish.
Lawrence told GIS News on Tuesday that extensive efforts were made to get an accurate feel of the dish which Dominicans prefer as their national dish.
It is not one person's dish, it is not a group's dish, it is a national dish. So it means that we had to try to find out what the majority of people in Dominica think and what they would prefer maybe as a national dish.
The cultural official described the voting procedure and the options put forward to the public.
There were a number of options, including things like kalaloo, like broth, like fig and codfish, sandcoach, titiwi, the wild meats, agouti, manikou, the other mixtures of things like furin and pear, for instance. So we had a long list of popular dishes in Dominica, which we included in the surveys. And then we carried out 4 surveys, one on Dominica News Online, where we presented the options and asked people to vote. We also did one on the radio stations, because we know a lot of people listen to the radio. So we had a simulcast on DBS, Kyrie, and Voice of Life, and we got that survey done. We also did one among the school children in Dominica, the secondary school children, the bigger children, the 4th formers. And we also did a survey among the hotels and restaurants in Dominica.
Lawrence explained that it was necessary for those options to meet particular requirements.
We were looking at things like popularity among Dominicans, a typical sort of dish among Dominicans, something that was part of our heritage, something that we are used to, that we are accustomed to. But we were not sort of absolutely strict on, all in a sense, because if we had embraced crapo, let's say, as a national dish, crapo is not something you get every day. It's seasonal. It's not every time that you can catch the crapo kind of thing, and yet we had sort of embraced it as a national dish. So we were also looking at a type of dish where the ingredients were available in Dominica. That's another thing, more or less available. Not that you cannot use imported things, but a type of dish that can be prepared maybe at any time of the year.
Carlu emerged the top choice of voters at the close of the voting period, and currently the Division of Culture is preparing a document for Cabinet's review. The plan is for the official dish to be announced during this year's Independence season. The Dominica State College Faculty of Applied Arts and Technology is reporting outstanding performance of Dominican students at the 2013 City and Guilds International Examinations. Dean of the Faculty of Education, Mervin Murphy, confirmed that 40 students wrote the June 2013 examinations. He reports that all 40 students were successful.
Of the 40, 32 wrote the International Vocational Qualification Level 2 in electrical installation, and 8 wrote the International Vocational Qualification Level 2 Technician Certificate in Motor Vehicle Systems. This is the first time that everybody who was registered for an examination by the Dominica State College was successful. So we are very proud of that as an institution.
Students wrote examinations for the IVQ Diploma in Electrical Installation and Motor Vehicle Systems. He revealed the names of the top performers in both disciplines.
The top performers for the Diploma in Electrical Installation was follows: Delon Valerie, Daniel Alexis, Joseph Francis, Ethan LaRocque, Dave Laurent, Eustace St. Rose, and Joel Bedminster. The top performers for the Technician Certificate in Motor Vehicle Systems were Henderson Bruni, Conrad Marvin Phillip, and Louis Johnson.
Mr. Murphy reports that of the 21 who wrote the examinations in electrical installation, a number of them are practicing electricians. Murphy is delighted that the school was able to assist them in becoming certified electricians.
This year, 21 of the students who wrote the electrical installation program were mature students. This means that they are working adults in doing electrical installation already, but who were never certified. The State College gave them a very special and accelerated program, and we are pleased to report that every one of the 21 students who took the exam were successful.
The City and Guilds examinations are administered by the Department of Continuing Education of the DSC. The college official says this achievement by the students is testimony that the school is delivering quality education.
We have always prided ourselves in our ability to deliver a very high quality of instruction. And so when we get results like this, it proves what we have been saying. It confirms what we have been saying, because here it is at an international level of examination, we are performing so creditably. And this gives us a boost. But what it also means for the mature learners is that people who are out there in the trades particularly, who are working they just started working, no training, they now can see the opportunity for them to come to the Dominica State College, take a program, a crash program with us, and do City and Guilds exam, and now have certification that makes them accessible to other programs anywhere else in the world.
We at the Government Information Service congratulate those who wrote the exams on their success. We also want to say hats off to the lecturers Joseph Matthew and Reynold Bunch who taught these courses. Attorney General Honorable Levi Peter says those who have benefited from involvement in criminal activity will be punished. The Attorney General in his address to Parliament last week was making reference to the Proceeds of Crime Bill.
Most of us will be familiar with being told from time to time that Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so, or Mrs. So-and-so, see they have this big house, they have this vehicle, they have that, where are they working? And we also may be familiar with not even the suggestion, the statement that's been made frequently, that people have these ill-gotten gains, allegedly, and that they sometimes even flaunt them. It has even been known on occasion that some of these individuals have mocked the police in the sense of saying that the police cannot touch them. Well, Madam Speaker, I wish to inform all such people that the day when they will be touched is drawing very nigh.
In other news, the 2013 Emancipation celebrations continued last weekend with the hosting of the Eggleston Heritage Festival. The celebration is part of a wider plan to transform the community into a heritage village which will create greater economic and social development, promote preservation of natural resources and traditional lifestyles.
This celebration of Heritage Festival will herald a very important milestone in the history of the village of Eggleston. Amidst the limitations of time and financing, the Heritage House, Kainu, bears the proud symbol of how volunteerism and dedication to a common cause can bear fruit in abundance.
President of the Eggleston Heritage Festival Committee, Shirley Alexander, says several activities were hosted in the days leading up to the festival.
A traditional sports day, fashion show, a celebration of Creole food, a Sunday morning prayer and worship session, a history night with Dr. Lennox Downey Church with bakes and bush tea, a summer day camp program captioned Sports Not Drugs, and Want to Start Again with the Youth Division this week.
One of the highlights of Saturday's festival was the official opening of a 40 by 40 foot shed dubbed Kainu.
The facility will provide a venue for housing and showcasing our traditional lifestyles and art form. Kainu is being promulgated as a training and resource center.
The wife of Parliamentary Representative for the Roseau South constituency, Honorable Ambrose George, cut the ribbon to declare the facility open before going on tour. Inside the facility, a wide variety of agricultural produce, pottery, clothing items, musical instruments, historic coins, tools, coffee processing equipment, ancient media players, and washing utensils. The Roseau South MP, who went on tour of the facility, made a special appeal to the festival organizers.
I'm looking forward, Shirley, to really utilizing the Heritage Shed for the community, whether it's as a village market to sell the flowers and the vegetables and the fruits that we have here, but the shed should be put to use throughout the year. And of course, climax at some point during the year when we can have a festivity.
The shed was built with local materials and predominantly through voluntary labor. Chief Cultural Officer Raymond Lawrence is impressed with the support of the community towards the festival.
We know that events like this help to bring the community together. It builds community spirit. In fact, to me, that's the most important part of an activity like this. It's like you have the unity in the village, you know, but when you organize an event like this, you really begin to see that people are coming out, cooperating and uniting with one purpose, one mission, one goal.
During Saturday's festival, President of the committee, Shirley Alexander, was recognized for active involvement in community and national activities, including roles in the 4-H movement, social work, flower show, church activities, and the credit union movement.
Shirley, we salute you and pledge our love and support and thank you for using your time, talent, and treasure to lead us in community development.
Saturday's festival also included a performance by the Ridgefield Estate Citrus Group. And finally, this news time, Dominica's reigning queen, Leslasa Amo Shillingford, continues to represent herself and the country well across the region. This past week, Miss Dominica won 2 more regional titles in just 3 days. She emerged winner at the Miss JC's pageant in Antigua on Friday, then moved on to Nevis on Monday, where she captured the crown as Miss Caribbean Culture. Miss Amo Shillingford also holds the title of Miss Carival 2013, a competition held in St. Vincent, and first runner-up of Miss Caribbean World held in Tortola in May of this year. GIS News asked Nathalie Clark of the Dominica Festivals Committee about the recent winnings of Miss Amo Shillingford. Ms. Clark says Miss Shillingford is an amazing and talented young woman who has a firm vision and the ability to set great goals and achieve them. She says Miss Amo Shillingford has fully embraced a solid platform, which is holistic education, and has seized every opportunity to promote it. She also attributes the young lady's success to the hard work and dedication of a team headed by Carla Amo. When asked how Leslasa's performance impacts Dominica's prospects for presentation on the world stage, Ms. Clark told GIS News that Leslasa has shown that she definitely knows how to win crowns. She says the prospect of Miss Dominica representing the island on the world stage is considered yearly and is always seen as an advantage to Dominica and the young beauty. However, she says participating in such events can be complicated as there are a number of factors to consider, such as the cost involved. Miss Universe and Miss World are franchised organizations, and in order to participate, a franchise would have to be purchased. Miss Amo Shillingford is expected to receive an official welcome back to Dominica on Tuesday. And that's the English segment of the news. We now join McPherson St. Luce for the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi c'est McPherson Saint-Louis. Premièrement, State College Dominique bien plaisir étudiant qui écrit examination City and Guild en affaires automécaniques. Parole ça la sortie au directeur des affaires éducation State College Dominique, M. Mervin Matthew.
40 moun j'ai dans ça yo écrit examination City and Guilds International et puis yo tout passe examination ça. Et puis ça qui bon c'est qualité passée yo passé. Yo tapé 7 distinction, 18 mérite et puis discredit. Et puis nouvelle ça bien bon pour State College puis ça c'est première fois State College tout le monde qui écrit en examination City and Guilds et puis State College passe examination. Ça mène pour nous qu'en collège, c'est nous qu'à faire un travail qui est bon. Nous qu'à montrer ces gens-là bien. Nous qu'à avoir bon quality instruction. Et puis, c'est pas cela qu'a fait Dominica State College, senti bien bon. Puis, là, nous faisons un travail comme ça, qui examination l'autre pays, qui prouvé nous qu'a fait bon travail, et qui a fait nous bien content.
Dans nouvelle, Dominique c'est membre comité plan protection Caraïbe. Si l'on a un meeting qui te tient, officier quarantine, ministre agriculture, Ansem, électé comme député comité salaire.
Dominique t'es électé co-chair organisation ça là, nous bien contents nous qu'a représenter région comme co-chair. Ça c'est une organisation nous qu'a joindre tous les années. Nous qu'a parler contre programmes bagaille comme SPS bagaille qui a affecté région. L'année ça là mon sorti dans la meeting ça là, semaine qui passée, nous te Dominique chair meeting ça là, nous faisons un bon travail pour mettre le programme nous qu'a fait, moun bien content pour nous garder ça nous qu'a fait un Black Cigato qu'a greening avec Giant African Steel. Place nous qu'a fait Trinidad, Montstrat, Antigua, Barbade, yo te bien content pour yo tan programme là nous qu'a fait Giant African Steel.
Dominique bénéficie de $20 million European Union kawan support pour programme budget. Parole ça la sortie au chef European Union pour Barbade et puis pays Caraïbes Michael Bafford. C'est l'ambassadeur Bafford. Agouement pour ça te si en août l'année 2012 et de l'argent là qu'a séparé par Dominique a dans une manière formidable. Dominique déjà reçu $11.5 million en février l'année cela. European Union a financé Dominique c'est une bonne manière gouvernement a agi et puis économie là. Messieurs et mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nous vers la créole pour à présent. Non moins c'est McPherson St. Luce. Au revoir.
Thank you, McPherson. Just before we go to today's tip, we have one announcement. Dr. Remy Bella, visiting neurologists from Martinique, will be holding neurology clinics at the Princess Margaret Hospital on Wednesday 7th and 8th August 2013 from 8 a.m. Persons who have seen this doctor before and need a follow-up appointment should present themselves on the days mentioned. Call the appointments desk, medical records department, telephone number 266-2169 for further information. Coming up, your tip of the day.
Look.
Wow.
Don't buy condoms at the age.
You need condoms. And this little girl, she's so young. None of her parents knows about this.
Who's this?
This big woman.
I like them big too.
What?
What? What's going on today? Everybody buying condoms.
Caribbean women are protecting themselves. Join them now.
Today we're going to bring you a few hurricane preparedness tips. For personal safety, identify what storm shelter is available to you and prepare an evacuation plan. Choose 2 meeting places, one outside your home in case of a sudden emergency such as a fire, and one outside your neighborhood in case you can't return home. Make sure you have bottled water, a first aid kit, flashlights, a battery-powered radio, non-perishable food items, blankets, clothing, prescription drugs, eyeglasses, personal hygiene supplies, and a small amount of cash or traveler's checks. If you need to evacuate your home, turn off all utilities and disconnect appliances to reduce the chance of additional damage and electrical shock.